Once upon a time, deep in the heart of an expansive savanna, there was a remarkable elephant known as Eliot. What made Eliot extraordinary was not his size or the might of his tusks, but rather his keen interest in photography, a hobby quite unusual for an elephant. Eliot lived among a herd of elephants, each with their distinct roles. Matriarch Ella led the herd with wisdom. Bongo the young calf kept everyone entertained with his antics, and wise old Horton often shared tales of the past. Eliot's interest and curiosity extended beyond the daily lives of his kin and into capturing the vivid beauty of the world around him. Eliot discovered a camera one day while wandering near a photographer's camp. It was a sleek device that had been left unattended, forgotten amidst the busy movements of the human explorers. Intrigued by its clicking sound and the flash of light when he accidentally pressed a button, Eliot decided to keep it, sparking his journey into photography. At first, operating the camera was a challenge. Eliot's trunk fumbled with the buttons, creating accidental shots, most of which were mere close-ups of grass or blurry clouds. But Eliot was not deterred by the initial hurdles. His diligence and patience paid off when he began understanding the basic mechanics of the camera, and soon he was taking pictures with intent. His eye for composition became more refined with each shot. Eliot aimed his camera at landscapes during sunrise and sunset, capturing the panorama of colors that painted the horizon. He took portraits of his fellow wildlife, snapping images of zebras galloping, giraffes grazing, and majestic lions lounging under the shade. Eliot's photographs were not just stills, they were vivid narratives of life in the savanna. The patterns of migration, the cycle of the seasons, and even the subtle changes in vegetation, all were recorded with a perspective only an elephant could provide. News spread among the animals about Eliot's talent. One day, Matriarch Ella approached him. "Eliot, your pictures have opened my eyes to the beauty and nuances of our home," she said warmly. "We should share this gift with others." Inspired, Eliot decided to hold an exhibition, displaying his collection in a clearing that the humans used for gatherings. Horton helped spread the word among their neighbors, both animal and human. Creatures from far and wide came to see Eliot's work, and the humans who stumbled upon the exhibition were fascinated by the elephant's unique viewpoint. The exhibition was a triumph, praised by everyone who attended. Even Bongo, known for his playful misbehavior, was entranced by Eliot's photographs, choosing to mimic poses from the portraits. Eliot's photographs became a bridge between the animal kingdom and humanity. His scenes immortalized the fragile beauty of the world and inspired efforts toward preservation, encouraging the idea that everyone, irrespective of size or species, can contribute to art and change. Thus, Eliot the photographer elephant became both a legend and a guardian of the savanna, showing that even in the vast wilderness, passion can lead to profound revelations and heartfelt connections. Once upon a time, in a bustling little town, there lived a tiny mouse named Max. Max was no ordinary mouse. He had an extraordinary dream. Every night, as Max curled up in his cozy little nest, he imagined a cheese so big that it towered over all the buildings in town. Max called it the giant cheese. Max lived in a corner of a busy bakery, where the delicious smells of fresh bread and pastries filled the air. Every day, Max scurried around the floor, collecting crumbs and tiny morsels to take back to his nest. But no matter how many tasty treats he gathered, nothing matched the cheese he saw in his dreams. One day, as Max was peeking out of his home, he overheard the baker chatting with a customer. "This weekend is the cheese festival," the baker said excitedly. "There will be a competition to see who can make the largest cheese in the town." Max's little ears perked up, and his whiskers twitched with excitement. Determined to find out, Max decided to venture outside the bakery for the first time. The festival was only a few days away, and he needed a plan. He began collecting materials to build a small ladder, using twigs and threads he found around the bakery. The big day finally arrived. As the sun rose bright and early, Max scurried out to the town square, hiding among the excited feet of the festival goers. Max's heart pounded with anticipation. Everywhere, stalls were filled with cheese of every kind, cheddar, brie, Gouda, but none seemed to be the one from his dreams. Then, glancing toward the center of the square, Max's eyes widened with awe. There it stood, a massive wheel of cheese so large, it cast a shadow over the festival goers. It was glistening and golden, just like the cheese he had dreamed of every night. Max knew he had to reach the top to confirm it was the cheese of his dreams. With his tiny ladder in paws, Max scurried over. He set up his ladder against the giant wheel and began his climb, his tiny heart racing with excitement and nerves. As he reached the top, he stood triumphant on the cheese plateau and took a tiny nibble. It was even better than he could have imagined. Rich and creamy, it melted deliciously in his mouth. And as Max stood there, savoring each delightful bite, he realized something important. It wasn't just the cheese that was wonderful, it was the adventure of following his dream that had brought him here. From that day on, Max wasn't just any ordinary mouse in the bakery. He was Max, the mouse who dared to dream, and who made that dream come true, one tiny nibble at a time. And every time he curled up in his little nest, he dreamed new dreams, knowing that anything was possible if you only set your heart on it. Once upon a time, in the vast and mysterious ocean, there lived a curious young mermaid named Mariella. She lived in the heart of the seven seas, where the water was the deepest blue and the corals shimmered like jewels. Mariella was unlike any other mermaid because she had a sense of adventure that was as boundless as the ocean itself. Her shiny, emerald green tail glittered in the sunlight as she swam effortlessly through the sea. Mariella had always heard stories about the world above the ocean, a place filled with bustling cities, magical creatures, and humans who roamed on land. Every day, she would sit on her favorite rock, close to the surface, and watch the horizon, dreaming about the possibilities above. One day, while exploring a sunken ship deep in the ocean, Mariella found a peculiar object, a seashell necklace that shimmered under the water. As she held it, she felt an unexpected tingling in her tail and suddenly heard a soft voice whispering from the necklace. "Seeker of the seven seas, heed the call and fulfill your destiny." Confused but intrigued, Mariella decided to seek answers. On her journey, Mariella met various sea creatures. There was Tico, the outgoing dolphin, always up for a chat, Gloria, the wise old tortoise, who moved slowly but saw everything clearly, and Sam, the playful sea lion, who loved to perform acrobatics in the waves. Together, they deciphered that the necklace was a map, guiding them to the seven wonders of the ocean. Their adventure took them across the seven seas. They visited the twinkling underwater city of Glystinia, where fish wore dresses of pearls, and they gazed in awe at the great coral palace, home to the Coral Queen, who reigned over the sea. Each wonder brought them closer to the truth. They discovered that Mariella was destined to become the guardian of the seas, ensuring harmony between the ocean and the world above. To achieve this, Mariella had to learn the Song of the Seas, a melody that was believed to balance the tides and bring peace. In their final destination, the sacred sea garden, the ocean currents danced gently to the song that echoed from the seabed. With each note, Mariella's heart filled with understanding, and she sang along. Her voice merged with the music of the sea. The ocean responded in harmony, and for the first time, Mariella understood her true purpose. Her friends cheered with joy as the seas celebrated Mariella's newfound role. She had fulfilled the call of the seven seas, and in doing so, she became a bridge, a beacon of understanding between the two worlds. Though Mariella was content in her underwater home, she knew she would forever be a part of both the ocean and the realm above. With her heart full of love and the necklace shining ever so brightly around her neck, Mariella felt at peace, ready to protect the wonders of the sea for all who would come after her. And so, the tale of Mariella, the mermaid who embraced her destiny, echoed across the seven seas, a story told beneath the waves for generations to come. Once upon a time, in a small rural village nestled among rolling hills, lived two curious teens named Alex and Mia. Known for their adventurous spirits and vivid imaginations, the pair often wandered beyond their village, dreaming of new lands and secret hideouts only they could discover. One sunny afternoon, Alex and Mia stumbled across a path that led them deep into a forest at the edge of their village. This wasn't any ordinary forest, though. It was said to be enchanted. Local legends whispered about magical creatures and mystical happenings, but no one ever dared to venture too far. Yet, with an unquenchable thirst for adventure, Alex and Mia took a leap of faith and decided to explore the mysterious woods. As they entered, the forest seemed to come alive. The trees swayed gently, their leaves whispering secrets. Sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting playful patterns on the forest floor. Birds with feathers of impossible colors flitted from branch to branch, singing melodies that felt like magic. Every step forward brought new sights and sounds that urged them deeper into the heart of the forest. Suddenly, Mia spotted something shimmering in the distance. "Alex, look," she called. As they hurried over, they found a crystal-clear pond surrounded by flowers that were glowing softly in the afternoon light. Bending down, Alex touched the water's surface, sending ripples across the pond. To their amazement, the ripples transformed into images, a merry gathering of forest creatures dancing. "This truly is an enchanted place," Mia whispered with wide eyes, while Alex nodded in agreement. Encouraged by their discovery, they continued exploring and soon encountered a small fairy-like creature caught in a tangle of vines. With gentle hands, they freed the tiny being, who in gratitude sprinkled them with a golden dust. Suddenly, they could understand the chatter of the forest animals and hear the gentle hum of the woodland's ancient heart. The little fairy led them down a hidden path to the heart of the enchantment, a giant ancient tree, its trunk inscribed with stories and symbols of old. Under the tree's sprawling branches, Alex and Mia met the guardian of the forest, an elderly owl with wise eyes. "In your hearts, the forest has found true friends," the owl spoke, waving a feathery wing. "Return any time to share in its wonders." Reluctantly, as the sun began setting behind the hills, Alex and Mia knew it was time to go home. They thanked the guardian and retraced their steps, their spirits buoyed and eyes sparkling with wonder. As they returned to their village, they vowed to protect the secrets of the enchanted forest and share its magic through their stories, ensuring that the enchanted woods would remain a place of mystery and wonder for generations to come. And so, in the enchanting forest, two teenagers found friendship, adventure, and a slice of magic that would stay with them forever. Once upon a time, in the heart of the African savannah, lived a lion named Leo. He wasn't like any other lion. Leo had a dream that was as large as the moonlit sky. While his friends, the other lions, roamed the grasslands honing their hunting skills, Leo spent his days dreaming of becoming a singer. Leo loved to sing. His voice was loud and booming, as a lion's roar should be, but he wished he could make it softer and sweeter, just like the gentle lullabies of the nightingale that sang near the watering hole. Every morning, while his pride was stretching and yawning, Leo practiced his notes, much to the amusement of his fellow lions. "Leo, you're not a nightingale. You're a lion," they would chuckle, flipping their tails and rumbling gently as they napped under the baobab trees. But Leo's dream was as persistent as a summer sun. Why should birds have all the fun of singing, he wondered. However, no matter how hard he tried, his voice remained thunderous and deep, sending nearby antelopes skittering away. One bright day, as Leo was practicing by the river, a wise old turtle named Tula approached him. Tula was known across the savannah for her cleverness and her love for stories. "Hello, Leo," croaked Tula, blinking slowly. Why do you wish to sing like a bird when you have the roar of a lion? Leo sighed, looking at his rippling reflection in the water. I want to bring joy and peace like the nightingale does with her song, he said. Tula thought for a moment. Perhaps it's not about changing your voice, but finding a way for your roar to sing, she suggested. Leo pondered over Tula's advice as he watched the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink. The next morning, he tried something different. Instead of imitating the nightingale, he began to use his voice to create rhythms that matched the heartbeat of the savannah. To his amazement, the other animals began to listen. The zebras stopped to sway in time, the meerkats popped up to watch, and even the stern elephants gently tapped along with their trunks. Leo realized that he didn't need to be a nightingale. His voice was a part of the savannah's orchestra, a powerful instrument that added depth to its song. From that day on, the lions didn't nap when Leo sang. Instead, they hummed to his tunes, proud to accompany their newfound musician. Once upon a time, in a vibrant forest where the trees whispered secrets and the winds carried laughter, there stood a very special tree called the Magic Story Tree. It was hidden away in the heart of the forest, and only those who truly believed in magic could find their way to it. The tree had shimmering leaves that seemed to glow under the sunlight and twinkle in the moonlight. What made this tree extraordinary were the colorful, sparkling scrolls that dangled from its branches like ornaments. These scrolls contained enchanting stories from all over the world. One sunny afternoon, a curious squirrel named Squeaky ventured into the deeper parts of the forest. Squeaky had heard tales from elder squirrels about the magic story tree, but he had never before set out to find it. His tiny heart was filled with an adventurous spirit. Squeaky trotted along the winding paths of energetic green, his tail bobbing with excitement. As he pushed through the thick foliage, he could hear the giggling of the flowers and the cheery hum of bees. After a long journey through colorful and mysterious parts of the forest, Squeaky found himself standing before the magic story tree. Its presence was magnificent. Squeaky's little eyes widened in wonder as he spotted the glittering scrolls hanging like fruit ready for a feast. Driven by his curiosity, Squeaky climbed up the tree, twitching his nose as he went. He carefully reached for a scroll that shimmered with hues of gold and silver. As he unrolled it, the scroll began to glow even brighter. Each word seemed to come alive, and as Squeaky read on, he felt himself transported into the world of shining armor and towering castles. His heart thumped with the excitement of dragon roars and the cheer of the villagers. When the story ended, the scroll magically rolled itself back up and gently hung back in its place on the tree. Squeaky sat in silence, filled with wonder and inspiration. The story had taught him the power of bravery and kindness. Squeaky scampered back home, eager to tell his squirrel friends about the magic story tree and the powerful tale he had discovered. And from that day on, Squeaky and his friends often visited the tree, learning from the stories. They carried the messages of love, courage, and wisdom back to all the creatures of the forest. Thus, the magic story tree continued to spread joy and wisdom, its scrolls forever holding the dreams and tales of countless worlds. The scrolls waited patiently for the next adventurer with a heart full of wonder. And so the tales of the magic story tree carried on, delighting hearts and igniting imaginations forever and ever.